Hey, it's Seagrove, and I just got back from my cup a few hours ago. I made a vlog, but I decided not to post it. I'm just going to go over the whole tournament bit by bit. First thing I want to do was go over my list and my deck options, my choices. I mean, so I only play one Oranguru. I'm going to play one Oranguru just for late game ends and stuff. I only play one Rayquaza. A lot of people play two. I don't use it that much. I'm pretty surprised that other people use that much. I think other people attack with their GXs a lot more than I do. Like I Soul Burst with one, and in most matchups I only hit one Sunsteel Strike, but one Rayquaza has always been more than enough for me, or has been perfect. Just felt exactly the right number the whole time. Four Cosmog, two Cosmom, three Solgaleo, and one Baby Solgaleo. The Baby Solgaleo is the best card in the deck, I think. Super good. We'll get into that more later. Magirna's in here for Greninja and Sylveon and Gardevoir, because if they Parallel City plea you, you lose. But Magirna stops that, and then it's a really good attacker against Gardevoir as well. Three Lele, one White Kyurem. Yeah, I should probably talk about that. So, I didn't want to auto lose to Fire decks. I knew there was going to be at least one, if not more. And I had been testing a little Ninetales, but I ended up going with White Kyurem. Blizzard Burn for 130, 3 energies, and you're playing Solgaleo, obviously, so you can reset it pretty easily. So I really like the card, but yeah. The Burning Icicles can be good for cleaning up things if you whiff a Choice Band or something when you needed it. And then you can hit 20 on 2 bench Pokemon as well. So it can be good against like Metagross or something if they miss the Max Potion. And then I'm playing my energy line, therefore, is 4 DCE, 6 Metal, and 3 Rainbow. And I usually Soul Burst the Rainbow so I don't take the damage. Sometimes I'll play one early. 2 Field Blower. That's the one thing I wish I could have played 3. I think if I did it again, I would go to 2 Lele and 3 Field Blower. But 2 Heavy Ball, 4 Rare Candy, 1 Super Rod. I really wanted a second Super Rod as well, but one ended up being enough. So 4 Ultra, a Bridget, 3 Guzma. I like 3 Guzma. I was on 2 and I really like 3. 2 Hala. He's really good in the deck because you're Soul Bursting pretty early. 3 N. You want to use your N's early, like turn 2. You want to Bridget turn 1 and then turn 2 N. And by the way, about Bridget, 1's plenty. You don't even need it every game. You play it most games though, but if it's prized, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna grab a Cosmog and then I'll N or whatever. With N, you want to play like 2 early and then 1 late game typically, to put your opponent in a bad situation. And then you can hit with your Rayquaza. Like I use Rayquaza once a game near the end, so as long as it's not like my last or second last prize, it's fine. 4 Sycamore, 2 Skyla, really liked it. 2 Choice Band was enough. 4 DCE, and then we already talked about all that. So yeah, I think I went through pretty much why I play the cards. Now I'm going to take you through my matchups. Game 1, I played against Salazzle Drampa. And so I was like, cool, White Kyurem. First deck search is prized. It was my 5th prize, so didn't end up helping at all, but I ended up winning. I used Lele. So I Soul Bursted onto my Baby Solgaleo. 2 energies, and then 2 DCE. No, 1 DCE. 2 DCE onto Lele. Then I brought up the next turn. He hit into Solgaleo, but did knock it out. Maybe he did knock it out. Maybe he did knock it out. So then I bring up baby Solgaleo and knock out his Salazzle, and then he brings up Drampa, knocks out my Solgaleo. I bring up Lele, and I already have 2 DCEs on it because of Soul Burst. I put a 3rd DCE on, and that's enough to KO him. He brings up a Lele, attaches to his bench Salazzle, and passes. And I have a Metal Energy in hand, and then I have a Solgaleo with 2 metal on the bench. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to attack with Solgaleo because then I lose my energies and I need to take 2 more knockouts because it was a baby Salazzle that I knocked out earlier. So I needed to take 2 more knockouts. So I didn't want to attach to my bench Solgaleo unless because then I would lose all my energy on that, and then he could Lysander in or Guzma in and then knock it out, and I would have no board. So I counted my cards. I looked for choice band and how many I had and everything. I was like, all right, I'm not going to attach this energy. I'm just going to Sycamore it away. And then I found the choice band and I found the energy. So I ended up attaching the energy to Lele, choice band to Lele. I knocked out his Lele with my Lele, and his Lele had no energy on it, and I one-shotted it. It was pretty cool. And then Solgaleo won. Like, it didn't matter what he did. I had a KO next turn either way. So I won that. Round 2, I played up against Espeon, and the guy's list was a little bit weird, but not too bad of a matchup in general, unless he gets up Garb, but he didn't. I don't think he played that many Garbotoxin, or I don't know. It was pretty easy. I took all 6 prizes with the baby Solgaleo. Like I said, that thing is disgusting. You just put a choice band on it, you one-shot Espeon, and Espeon can't one-shot you. There's a lot of stuff like that. Round 3, I played against Golisopod, and Golisopod depends on the build, but like if they have to put a Rainbow Energy onto a Golisopod, you can OHKO it with baby Solgaleo, but generally you want to take 2 knockouts with a Solgaleo GX on the Glissopods and then 1 on a Lele with baby Solgaleo. But and when I Soul Burst, I typically don't put like 3 on this Solgaleo, 3 on this Solgaleo. I'll put like 1 here, 2 here, 2 over here. I spread them out a lot because then I just need 1 attachment on all these different things. And if one of them gets knocked out, if I know they can't knock me out, that's different. But I definitely spread out my energy a lot more than most players using it, I think. So round 3, I played Golisopod. It was my friend. It's not a bad matchup for me. So he had terrible prizes too. He couldn't find energy. He had half his prizes were energy. So I ended up winning that. He scooped pretty, like, it was overwhelming. Like, there's no way. So he scooped. Round 4, I played it again. Another friend playing it. I started Ray, and I attached past, and he played a Lele, DCE'd a Lele, and retreated with Wimp out. Hit me for 80, and then I passed, and then he won. So that was fun. And then we played another game, a few games, hand face up, and just talked about the matchup and stuff like that. Then I played on stream against Xander Bennett. I was pretty nervous. I didn't mean to say names. Oh well. I mean, he was on stream, so he was playing Kingdra, and I was playing obviously Solgaleo, and he had just beaten a Solgaleo, so I was a little bit nervous. I didn't know exactly what Kingdra did. I knew it could snipe, and I knew it had 140 HP, and so he just didn't really get things going, and I just kept hitting with Lele, and I just won that way. Like, I Soul Bursted onto a Solgaleo baby and a regular Solgaleo and a DCE onto Lele, and then I just took knockout after knockout with Lele until the very end. I couldn't take a knockout with Lele, so I just retreated into, or ultra roaded into Solgaleo and won. But he just didn't draw well, so I can't really tell you how that matchup is supposed to go. The last round, I just ID'd and made it into top 8. And then in top 8 is where things got pretty interesting. Played against Espeon GX. Game 1, I just smashed him. Solgaleo's baby's so good in that matchup. Game 2, I prized Solgaleo baby, and I'm like, okay, it's not going that well. He's ahead. And then he Guzmas up my, to start the turn, he Guzmas up my Cosmog, plays energy down, plays a couple, like a Ultra Ball, another item, and then he uses Hala, shoves his hand into his deck before I can stop him because he'd already supported, and then just grabbed like 2 random cards from his deck without looking, and he was like, hey, this was my hand. That's what he told the judge, which was not the case, but I was like, I really didn't want to win like that. I don't know. And he was ahead in that game, so he's probably going to win anyways. The judge ended up only giving him a prize penalty, which is definitely a big de-escalation. It should be a game loss. That should have been it right there. And I waffled back and forth about how I felt about that, but I'll talk more about that in a minute. Game 3, I'm like tilting. That tilted me so hard. I ended up just scooping after a few more turns, and he was playing super slow. And I was too. I mean, you're on stream, you get nervous. I don't think he was like stalling or anything. Game 3, I prized Baby Soul Galeo again. Oh, that was awful. So I just didn't get things going that quickly, and it went to time, so it was like it came down to prizes, and I misplayed at the end, but I misplayed at the end. I get nervous, and on stream I was even more nervous, and then with the whole thing with the judge, I was just like, I don't know. I need to learn how to play when I'm tilted. That's a problem for me. So he time's called. He takes 2 prizes. I don't know. I take a couple prizes back, and we're even on prizes. And I during my turn, before I take my 2 prizes, I Ultra Ball to get cards out of my hand. Somehow I'm just not thinking about Garbodor. I'm thinking about a lot of stuff at that point. Not his side of the board, unfortunately, which is really, really bad. But then he is able to Guzma and take 2 prizes on Lele, and I don't have a Guzma, so I end up losing because I can only take 1 prize, and he's up by a prize after time in game 3, so he wins. I was pretty upset at that point. I was a little salty because I felt like I misplayed because of being tilted from a bad judge call, and I don't know. And then I was talking to my friends about it, and they were like, you have to, it doesn't go to sudden death, it goes to next prize wins. And I was like, oh, that changes things, because his board would have been much better than mine because I would have no energy on board. So I felt like after that, okay, it's not ideal by any means, but I feel like he was probably going to win that anyway. And then I was like, and I didn't really want to win off of, he accidentally used 2 supporters and shuffled his hand into his, he didn't really shuffle, he just shoved it into his deck. And then I thought, and so I was kind of okay with it, and it's whatever. But later thinking about it, I was like, no, if that were me, I would have lost there. I would have not been like, oh, these were my cards, when they weren't. So that feels bad, but he was going to win that game probably, and then he ended up winning the next one. I think I would have won the next one if it hadn't gone to time, but he was going to win in the constraints of time either way. So I don't know, just a lot of emotions there. Like, I wasn't like angry or anything, but I was just upset about it, you know, crying in a corner type of thing. But it's cool. So that's my league report. I kind of feels a little bit bad. Like, top 8 is so mad to me. Like, If I get less than top 8, I feel bad. If I get better than top 8, I feel really good. And top 8's just like, I want to replace it, but if I don't, it's not the end of the world. So, yeah. Anyways, that's sort of my League Cup report, and I try to do these for people who want to know like the not just what happens in the games, but around the games and everything. So, thanks guys for watching, and I really like this deck. I think it's tier 3, maybe tier 2. It's somewhere, maybe we'll say 2.5. Like, it has some consistency issues, but not a lot of them. I'm playing 15 supporters. That's a lot of supporters. 15 supporters, 15 items, 13 energy, 17 Pokemon. So, and if I could do it again, I would just play an extra field blower instead of a Lele. So I might end up doing that next week, or maybe I'll play Vikabulu or something with Garbodor. We'll see. So, yeah. So you guys see me making these videos about stuff, and then I play them in my cup. So I'm not like messing around or trying to deceive anyone, or I'm putting up what I play. So, thanks again for watching, and you'll have a good day. Oh, flipsidegaming.com. 10% off with discount code Seagrove at checkout. These are actually good deals. Like, you look at the price and it's average, and then you put in this 10% off code and you're actually saving money. So do it. You'll get the cards you need. It's cheaper than TCG Player, where I was buying them with the discount code. So I'm using it. But just check it. Just try it. Just go look and see if it's not cheaper for you all. Thanks again.